Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, it's my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
What are we waiting for?
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in...
Hey, come on!
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Calling all cars. Citizen reports officer needs help. Shots fired. Officer down. 6th Street and Lindley Place. 6th Street, Lindley Place. Unit to handle code 3. Identify.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Brothers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force. Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails.
Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it?
Kiss the blood, BD. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered.
Yeah. We know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when strangled.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
May as well follow the trail. Antonia. Huh, same as the library card.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence. On it goes.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
House keys strung up like bait on a hook. That's got to be a code or a cipher. You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her. The trail points up. Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. We got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting those.
I'm sure.
Whoa there!
Wait just a moment. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. Hey, Cole, let's get moving. Will you look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
Okay, we have an address. charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. The smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife that served me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
She ever bring anyone else home?
No, she did not. What kind of place do you think I'm running here?
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I've no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No! That can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about. You should be ashamed of yourself talking to me like that.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet. What kind of person do you think I am, Detective? I would never conceal anything that might help you find poor Antonia's killer.
We're hunting a killer, madam. I would have expected a little more cooperation.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we can check out the El Dorado bar.
A nosy old hag? Ha! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wise line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
You don't think it's strange that all these murders are happening to girls who've been out drinking?
No. A broad drinks, she gets a bit tight, she starts mouthing off. This leads to that, and she ends up in an alleyway. It's a sad story, but this town's seen it play out 1,000 times, Cole.
Why don't you want to see a connection here?
Because there are perfectly good real-life suspects for every one of these murders. We don't need to go looking for the monster under the bed.
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, Phelps. No big deal. After a while, you just numb yourself to the experience.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. Makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. Oh, what did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
Divorce papers. Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
He drove me up to Mojave.
You're gonna see your married man again?
Say, honey, what time did you get off waiting table?
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pick Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
Fine, thanks.
Sam is taking me upon
Shut. Great. We'll need to come back later, Phelps. Maybe somebody here saw Antonia the night she died.
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got a... I got 100 pounds on your wife, pal. Ain't gonna be so easy. Damn. They got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no!
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
Nope.
What do you want?
LAPD, we're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks. This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movements. He's got no alibi. He's toast.
The El Dorado must be a family favorite.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
No good. Nobody here.
Sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD, were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar. Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thank you. Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters, Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
And now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? Fucking case just nods away into the guts. Hollywood. Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gutted on the fucking sidewalk.
Calling all cars, citizen reports officer needs help, shots fired, officer down, 6th Street and Lindley Place, 6th Street and Lindley Place, unit to handle code 3, identified.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Tinker.
I want to stop him with one round.
That looks like a beauty. That broad has socks in her brassiere. What the hell?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another accommodation?
I don't care. I'll go into letting gangsters off scot-free.
I need a drink. I got the juice.
We gonna go downstairs and see Donnelly or what?
Oh, that looks like a beauty.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all his fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
What are we waiting for?
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Two peanuts are walking down the street.
Oh, that looks like a beauty.
Homicide. You know you've got it made if you can get to that desk.
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
So if you didn't kill your wife, who did? You better come up with something, Angel. This doesn't look good.
Fuck you! I loved my wife.
You're good, kid. You murder your wife and you just sit there as cool as a cucumber.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
You didn't want anyone else to have her. You didn't like the idea of other men fucking your wife, them slipping it to her, the idea that she might like it.
Vete tomar por culo!
Easy there, Angel boy. Ease it back a notch.
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
I think you killed her, stripped the body of jewelry, and then went back to her apartment for the bracelet.
You should get a better hat. The sun is getting to your head. I've told you the truth. You don't believe me? You can go to hell.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
You're lying through your teeth. You killed her and your brother's in on it.
You don't know what you're saying. Why would I do that? Hippolito's my brother, but he would never lie for me about killing Antonia. He knows he'd go to hell for that.
Keep it to yourself, kid. Let it eat away at you like poison. You're going back into a cell. We'll be waiting when you're ready to spill your guts.
Are you taking my wife's murder seriously?
You know you've made it if you...
The cops want to meddle in solving all the cases?
Central Unit, Car 16 Adam reports a possible jumper at 8th and Hope, the Methodist Church. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
out afterwards.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She hadn't been back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
I think she came in here to call a cab. Even though she was drunk, she was reluctant to do it. She just wanted the phone. You had to push it further.
What are you talking about? How can you make up these lies about me? I think you should go now.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination. cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. You must have seen it during... This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit it. Clean this asshole off the road.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Now, lads, what am I to do with you? I give you a perfectly good murder. A case any homicide man would be happy with. An affront to our way of life and our Californian dream, and the chance to deliver some retribution. Are you not believers, lads? Homicide men are the right hand of God. You need to back out of here slowly and take a long, hard look at yourselves and your methods. Ask yourself what you are prepared to do to put these creatures behind bars. It's the streets for the two of you until I can find some forgiveness for the foppish behavior you've been exhibiting.
Why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it then. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads. How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show? Who the fuck is the Shadow? Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming. You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?